Hey, this is Pastor Jay Lee, and you're listening to the Daily Sabbath Podcast. Hey guys, Pastor Jay here. I just wanted to, again, as always, thank you guys for listening to the podcast. I'm always blown away by just the support that you guys have shown. And so, I would love to hear from you and just be able to say hello and thank you for listening to the podcast. And so, if you would just leave me a message and, you'll find a link in the episode description and just say hello. Tell me you've been listening to the podcast. Tell me where you're listening from. And as always, you could always leave your feedback and your questions as well. But also, I wanted to mention that, for some of you guys, maybe you would like to connect, but not necessarily in, a public way like the pod inbox. And so you can feel free to email me. The email address is dailysabbath@gmail.com. I'm just hoping that this could be more than a podcast, but, I'm looking for ways that we can, grow this into some sort of a community. And so please let me know if there's any way that this Daily Sabbath community can serve you, or if you have any suggestions of how it can grow into something more. The Spiritual but Not Religious series, final. John chapter 17, verses 14 through 17. I have given them your word, and the world has hated them, for they are not of the world any more than I am of the world. My prayer is not that you take them out of the world, but that you protect them from the evil one. They are not of the world, even as I am not of it. Sanctify them by the truth. Your word is truth. You could say there has been a spiritual but not religious movement even within the church itself, and for all the same reasons. Because it felt like so many things that have happened in the name of church have been so unspiritual. So, to distance ourselves from the sins of our predecessors, we've pushed away from the stigma of church as well. You hate religion? We hate it too. You hate the church? So do we. We're different. We're not the church. And rather than calling ourselves Christians, we became Christ followers. And sometimes we even stopped identifying as the church altogether. Now, there is merit to distinguishing true Christian expression from dead religion. But whether we call ourselves Christians or not, or churches or not, is really just semantics. At times, maybe we tried to run so hard away from being the church that we accidentally ran right into the arms of the world instead. We exchanged spirit for tech savvy, Bibles for bestsellers, sermons for seminars, and conviction for coffees. We discarded the things that seemed too churchy, but accidentally gave up on what made us spiritual, what made us alien, not of this world. We didn't want to be those weird spirit people. Thing is, people might sometimes hate us for living in obedience to Jesus and the Word, but they also don't really respect us because we don't. They just think of us as religious, but not spiritual. And so your reflection for today is this: the world doesn't need us to be less like the church. We need to be more like the church Jesus intended. The kind of church Jesus died for. The kind of church that is pushing back the gates of hell. A church that is more spiritual, not less. For more Daily Sabbath content, please be sure to follow us on Spotify or wherever you get your podcasts. And you can also follow us on our Instagram account, Daily Sabbath.